What is up, everyone? It's your boy iTurnsI here. So if you've been following me on my Instagram, you guys would know that I recently upgraded my camera to the Canon C100 Mark II. I've been shooting with the Canon Rebel T2i for a couple of years now. So in this video, I want to talk about why I chose the Canon C100 Mark II over the very famous Sony a7S Mark II. Everyone who makes videos, who's a filmmaker, everyone's going like, oh yeah, the Sony a7S Mark II, that's the camera that you should get if you're gonna make videos. But I didn't, and I was very close in getting it. I even got the adapter, some extra batteries and everything. I ordered them before I was gonna go out and buy the actual body. And last second, I was like, no, I am not buying the Sony a7S Mark II. And this is why I didn't buy it. The first thing is that the Sony a7S II was not a filmmaker's camera. It has always been a big dream of mine, actually, when I upgraded from DSLRs to jump into cinema bodies. And the Sony a7S wasn't that. If you look at the Canon C100, it's ergonomically built for filmmakers, from the handle grip to the knobs on the side that you can access, the flip LCD screen, which the Sony a7S doesn't have. You can only flip up and down. Like, I could finally see myself. You got the viewfinder right there. The way I could just change my ISO, my shutter, my aperture, hit record at ease is a huge blessing. It's not only ergonomically correct for filmmakers, there's also built-in ND filters in this camera. I'm gonna show you guys right now what I'm talking about. This might look weird. You see that? I just changed the ND filters. It's ND1 2 stops, and now it's 4 stops, and I could go all the way to 6, but you won't see me anymore. Inputs where you can attach your XLRs. Not only that, if I attach this handle onto the camera, you can really hold it onto like this. For the Sony a7S II, I would have bought more gear for it. What I mean by that is that when it comes in the box, the a7 II is about this big, and a little smaller than this, a little smaller than the T2i in terms of grip handle and everything. I would have bought a cage for it, obviously a couple more batteries, vertical grip. I would have invested into an adapter for it. The adapter works. It doesn't work that well. It doesn't work to 100%. And these adapters are expensive. They jump from $100 to $600. It's just a lot better if you use Sony native lenses on, obviously, a Sony body. And all the Sony lenses are autofocus, right? So there's no manual focus on these Sony lenses. And don't get me wrong, they're great, but it's just not the path I want to go as a filmmaker. I realized that if I was gonna buy a Sony a7S II camera, I would be investing a lot more money in the long term for that camera versus the Canon C100, where I already have everything I own is Canon. I'm in Canon's ecosystem right now. And the third and final point is obviously the look. A lot of people on the internet, they all say the same thing. There's a huge debate. They say that Sony produces a weird kind of color scheme, color box, color science, whatever they call it. And there's a bunch of color correction stuff that it apparently makes the skin tone look really weird. Everyone says that Canon has, the colors right out of the box. Like, you can just go right out of the box and the colors are on point. Here's the thing. I've looked at all the review footage for Sony and I don't really see a huge difference. Like, the colors are fine to me in my eyes. I really like how the C100 took on this very film kind of look. Versus that plastic look you get from shooting on DSLRs. The Sony a7S still produces this very plastic look. And obviously, I feel like in many areas that could be subjective. I actually took the Canon C100 to an actual shoot on Sunday, and I was shooting this bike tour. This camera worked perfectly in that situation. Like, it was outside in the sun, didn't break or anything. The battery life was amazing. The battery life on this goes for like 4 hours. It's absolutely intense. Like, I never had to change battery once, and I still had juice left. All these options are so useful to me as a filmmaker. If I got the Sony a7S II, I would be investing so much money just to rig it up into a actual video camera, and I just don't have the budget for that or the time right now, and it'll just kill the way I work. I mean, I think the C100 should have, it has a 4K sensor, but it can't shoot 4K internally. I guess these are like little small things that if I was gonna buy the Sony just because of the 4K, I mean, that's a bad reason, right? So that's about it for this video. That's the main reason why I chose the C100 over the Sony a7S Mark II. Let me know in the comment section below what you think about these two cameras. Did I make the right decision of buying the C100 versus the Sony a7S Mark II? Remember to like, comment, and if you're new, subscribe. This is your boy iTerrence signing out. Peace.